This week on the Virtual Pinball Show, we are setting up a two-screen virtual pinball setup in the workshop. And Games is launching a 4K virtual pinball cabinet. We are visiting Major Frenchy's new website. We will talk about the table of the week. Popeye saves the Earth. Welcome to the Virtual Pinball Show. Your host, Major Frenchy.
Welcome to the Virtual Pinball Show. I'm Major Frenchy, and I'm super thrilled to be here with you today. It's been such a long time since I've last published a video. It's been almost a year, day for day. The reason I needed to take some break from making videos, I needed some time to work on a couple of projects I had in mind for a very long time. One of those projects was building a wide-body virtual pinball cabinet from scratch. And I did it following MJR specs, and it turned out beautiful. I'm super happy. The images you're seeing right now, they're actually on the new website that I've created. You can find it at majorfrenchy.com under the cabinet building section. I followed an amazing tutorial, which is Way of the Wrench. I'm highly suggesting if you want to build a virtual pinball cabinet, Way of the Wrench has done an amazing job at providing a set of instructions and plans on how to build a wide body cabinet. By the way, Way of the Wrench, thank you so much. You have made such a big difference in providing those free plans and making a step-by-step tutorial on how to do it. Thank you so much. I also spent a lot of time, as you could see, building a brand new website. I wanted to have a central location where everything is easily accessible and you can easily understand all the software that you would want on a virtual pinball cabinet on one page, along with the link to get from the source. And also, if I have a tutorial, I'll link to the tutorial section. We'll get back to this a little later in the show. What is going to be on the show? One other thing is going to be tutorials. I love making tutorials. Actually, it's a passion, and I'm going to keep making them. Every tutorial that I'm going to make a written guide version. So I have a few already on the site that I've redone from scratch because of new ways, new versions of, new procedure on how to install it. So for visual pinball, there is a tutorial section here, and then clicking that will bring you to the tutorial. Also, I want to speak to folks within the virtual pinball community. We're going to have guests, and I want to speak with them. They're going to be short interviews, 5-10 minutes, and I just want you to discover the people within the community that are doing such amazing work. I love hardware. I love to connect things. I like to test stuff. I'm going to take you in the workshop, and this is where we're going to do the hands-on. We're going to try to connect things. We're going to test boards, test software, and maybe blow up shit. Who knows? So today we are building what's going to be the base of everything we're going to do. It's going to be a two-screen virtual pinball setup. So if you're brand new to virtual pinball, that's going to walk you through the process on how to set everything up. We're going to do that a little later in the workshop. A very important portion of the show is going to be your feedback. I want to hear what you have to say. If you're struggling with your build, if you're having issues, if you would like me to talk about something that I've never spoken about before, if you would like me to test boards, if I can afford them, I will go out and buy them. If you're a vendor and you would like me to test some of your stuff, send me some feedback and I will gladly do it. If you're struggling and then you want to reach out, head over to the website and go in the feedback section and just put in your message. And if I pick your question, I will answer it here on the show. I'm going to try to make this show a progressive learning curve. This can be very steep learning curve, especially if you're deciding to build your own cabinet. A lot of lingo, a lot of terms, solenoids, diode, MOSFET, stuff that you would say, what the heck is he talking about? Well, I actually thought about you. And if you head to the website, I've created a glossary of terms. So click on the glossary. You can click on the letter of the alphabet. If you want to learn what a MOSFET is, click on the letter M. and it will take you to the MUFSET board, and you can read and learn about what I'm talking about. So hopefully that's going to take some mystery out of the terminology I am using. Now it's time to head to the workshop and get our hands dirty. And today we're setting up a 2-screen virtual pinball setup. Hi. So we're in the workshop, and this is where we're going to do our hands-on. And I actually going to de-dust this old Alienware, and it's actually going to be perfect for this this project. It has decent specs. I'm going to use this eventually in the MAME arcade cabinet that I'm going to build on this show. Here I got a 24-inch screen. You can rotate it that way. So we're going to use that for our play field. And here I have a small 10-inch CCTV LED monitor that I had. So I'm going to use this for the back glass. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to connect everything, and then we'll launch Windows. I always found that pretty cool.
So I'm ready now to jump in the software section. Before we do start downloading things for playing virtual pinball, we're going to look at the setup for our display. Right click on your desktop, go to display settings, and here you're going to see two screens because I got two connected. One is the play field. You can see the one right here. So 1 and 2. There you go. Look at the resolution of your monitor. So mark them down. You will need them in multiple places. So I got 1920 by 1200. And for the back glass, I've got 1280 by 720. Another thing that you want to ensure is look at the scale. Make sure it's 100%. We're done here. So the playfield's on the left, the back glass on the right, and any additional screen that you would plug would be on the right of number 2 and so on. So what do we need to play virtual pinball? Well, we need a software that is called Visual Pinball X. So everything that I'm going to do is going to be logged under my website. And if you go in the software section, we're going to today look at Visual Pinball. So you're going to see two buttons. One is the download, so it's going to go directly to the source. So always, folks, download your stuff from the source. It's going to bring me to the GitHub website where we can download the software. We can see right now Visual Pinball X 10.8 Beta 5. The beta has actually been in release for quite a bit. It's stable, and a lot of tables now require this, but I want you to start with 10.7.3. This will install all the prerequisites, such as the backglass server and the vpin MAME software. So we're going to click and download this. While I'm doing this, you might want to check if the tutorial section is highlighted on the website. That means I do have a tutorial for it. So clicking on it will bring you to the page where I have everything you need to do in order to install the software on your computer. So we're going to head to the download section. You're going to right click on this. You're going to click properties, and you need to unblock that file. You're going to apply it and OK. Then we can run the software. Now we're going to pay attention here to the installation file because there are a few things we need to select. The first one is the destination folder. You can pick whatever you want. You can install it wherever you want as long as you make a mental note of where it is installed on your system. Here is actually the main one. We're not going to worry about this is for real DMDs. We're not going to worry about this, but what we want is the .NET and the B2S backglass server because we want a backglass on our second monitor. You might want to add the Visual Pinball to quick access so you can always go and with a click of a button in every folder that we need to access often, we will add them. For example, I will add right now the table folder. I'm going to add vpin main, and I'm going to add the RUMs folder. Just bear in mind, this is the older version of the backlash. We're going to update to version 2 in a couple of videos. Let's go to Visual Pinball, and we will run the b2s setup.exe. And here it's going to ask you for the settings of your playfield. So, okay, I got 1920 by 1200. And the backlash, I'm going to select display 2. And my backlash is 1280 by 720. Okay, so we can close this. So this one is saved here in the Visual Pinball folder. You're going to take this screen res and drag it to the tables folder. We're going to open Visual Pinball. I want to show you two different settings in the preferences for the video graphics options. Here is the play field. So you're going to select the same resolution as your play field. And for today, the only setting I want to talk about is this slider button here. It's like a catch-all. As you decrease this, it will speed up the game. So if your table is sluggish, you might want to decrease this. Find the sweet spot and you should be good to go. There are a lot of options here, and even in some of the other versions of VPX, there are a lot more options. So I've created a guide here. If you click on VPX option help on the main site here, you will find every single options here with an explanation as what it does. Also, I want to show you the configure keys and nudge. Here is basically where you set the keys to play pinball. This is for the flipper, like it's left shift and then right shift for the right flipper. You can also access this menu, at least the list of assigned keys within the game by pressing F2. We are ready to install tables. Where do we download them from and where do we get everything? Again, I made it easy for you on the website. If you head to the software section, just go past all the different software and you will get to a section that says virtual pinball table sites. There are mostly 3 sites that we're going to use: VP Universe, VP Forums, and Pinball Nirvana. You're going to need a free account for each and one of them in order to download things from those websites. What I'm about to tell you is what changed my life when it came out. Originally, it's still called a virtual pinball spreadsheet by Dux Retro. It was an Excel spreadsheet on basically a Google sheet. And all of these tables, the links, the different items to play that table was listed on that Excel spreadsheet. That was about, I don't know, a year ago, year and a half maybe. He came up with this amazing website where we can see the pictures and a very easy way to click on the files. And Dux Retro, I commend you. Thank you so much for doing all this. And I've heard now that he's got a helper, Fresh. Man, you're doing an amazing job at coding. Well done, folks. The way it works is you just you can look for a table by searching, by clicking on the letter of the alphabet, or just by browsing. I want today to install Popeye Save the Earth. So click on here, and it's going to bring us to what we call the PinCab preview. Here is a list of all the different things you need in order to play the table, which is the table, the backlash, and the RUM. And there are additional files for like the art, the point of view, and the media pack, and so on. Sometimes you will see multiple tables, multiple versions. They're basically different mods created by different people. You basically click on whichever one you want and you install it on your system and you keep the one you prefer. So I'm going to click on this one here. It's going to bring me to the site where it's being hosted, in this case, VP Universe. And I'm going to click on the download file, and you see here it's going to take a few minutes and download. While it's downloading, have a read here. It's the description from the author and all the folks that chipped in and the help in the making of this table are here. It's always nice to give it a like. Here you might want to give it a read too in order to sometimes find what is a prerequisite in order to run the table. You might need to upgrade your software in order to run that table. Also, the support section, you'll want to read this if you have an issue. People that have issues for different things will post it here. Have a read. If it's not here, you can create a new topic. And we're going to look now at the back glass. Again, multiple versions from different folks. I don't have a full DMD. I'm going to click on this one here, and I'm going to click the download, and I'm going to like this. By the way, Wildman, thank you so much for making all these back glasses. Thank you for all your work. Finally, we need the ROM. We're going to download that here. It's going to link us to VP Forums, and here Destruct. Thank you, Destruct, for posting these files. We're going to download it. Again, you need a free account in order to download it. So we have the VPX. This is the table. It has the extension .vpx. This one here is, we're going to extract it here. We have the backglass. It's the extension .direct B2S, and we have the ROM. So you're going to need to name the backglass exactly like your table. The table, you can name whatever you want. If you want to have a naming convention for your cabinet and stick with it, go ahead. Some people like to put the author and the year and the versions. For this, I'm just going to leave Popeye Saves the Earth, and I'm going to copy the name because I want to paste it in the direct B2S. There you go. So I'm going to take these two files, and see, I created a shortcut for the tables. It's going to go in the Visual Pinball Tables folder. And I'm going to take the ROM, and this one remains zip, and we're going to put it in the ROMs folder. And let's run Popeye Saves the Earth. So we got it, folks. You can see that we have the table loaded here. So the first time you load a table, you might see factory setting and it's kind of stuck there. What you do, you just click on the playfield and press F3 on your keyboard. This will restart the table and you should be good to go. See, now we're already getting Popeye, so that's a quick fix. So now this DMD, we need to make it fit in this black box here. So you want to right click on this, show Windows border, and then it will allow you to hit the corner with your mouse and drag it, and then you can resize that box to make it fit in this little black box here. So we're going to do it like this. And once you're happy, you right click on it, you uncheck show Windows border, then you can readjust it, and you're done. Now you do not need to save anything. This is saved in the registry. Click on the playfield and press F2 on your keyboard. Now this will give you the list here of all the keys to play pinball. All right, so we're gonna add some tokens and just play a little bit. Now I'm not gonna play long because I don't want this to be a streaming channel. All I want to do is I want to show how the table plays. This is actually pretty good. Well, I got a pretty good rig here. The computer I'm using is pretty good, but on my cab, I have 3 screens. I've got 4K 43-inch. The back glass is a 32-inch, and I've got a full DMD of 15-inch. And I'm running, the video card I'm using is an NVIDIA 3070, and it runs it pretty good. I got a good deal for it too. I got it for $400 used in Oops. Told you I was not going to play long. Back to the show.
That wasn't that complicated. Now you know how to install Visual Pinball X and download and install a table. We're going to build on this setup over time in this show, and I'm going to use this setup. What I want to do is I want to have an open concept where everything I'm going to connect, everything I'm going to add, you will be able to see. So that way, when a toy is triggered or when something is being turned on, you will be able to see. You might have heard me talking about the Add Games Legend Pinball cabinet. So you might have seen me before testing this cabinet. What I did is I actually ended up adding a lot of different features. I modded the heck out of this and added everything, every toys, addressable LEDs, and so on. It is a decent cab to get started. It's a cool way to get all the tables that are licensed, and you can actually just plug and play. Also, you can use the OTG, which allows you to connect a computer and play, for example, Visual Pinball X or Pinball FX3 on this cabinet. At Games announced actually a little while ago, this is not new, but they actually are announcing a cabinet that will be shipped towards the end of December to people that pre-ordered, and it is a 4K cabinet. One of the biggest complaints of people using the At Games Legend virtual pinball cabinet was the screen. Like the playfield was 1080p, it was not the sharpest, and hopefully with this 4K, they're gonna hit a home run with it. So if you haven't seen Wagner Tech Talk, he is an amazing YouTuber that is actually dealing with different technology, and he actually had his hands on the Legend Pinball 4K pre-production model. Now, a cool thing is that they've partnered up with Zen Studio, so we're going to have Pinball FX on the Legends Pinball cabinet. So to be seen. So far, they're only shipping in the US. Once we hear otherwise, I'll let you know here on this show. When it comes to picking a table or trying different tables, one team actually separate themselves from the other teams, and it's the VPin Workshop team. They've actually came up with so many different success stories. Their work is just beautiful. Let's look at the latest table they've actually published. This one is Police Force. It's a Williams 1989 table, and it's been released at, I think it was the end of October, beginning of November. This one is a thing of beauty, and they've actually worked really hard on this table. It's basically a makeover of the classic. This table is available to download on VP Universe, and here's the team of folks that are bringing you this table. Thank you so much. We're already at the end of the show. It went by so quick. I know your time is very valuable, and I certainly appreciate you spending that valuable time with me here today. Until next time.